Thank you. This one is orange leg.
Helen, you've got tickets and stuff for some people, Helen. Which was good, that was good. Which really good. It's got a lovely shade of red. Oh, quick, Maria, you're missing all of this. Honestly, they're not mine. It's not mine. You won't believe it. Have a look again. Oh dear.
by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort and none of name.
The victory is twice itself and yet fever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honour on a young Florentine called Claudia.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion.
I pray you, is Senior Montanto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned. As pleasant as ever he was.
Oh, he set up his bills here at Messina and challenged Cupid at the flight.
But I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars?
But how many hath he killed? For indeed I have promised to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much. But he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
Oh, you have musty victual and he hath hoped to eat it. He's a very valiant trencher man. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady, but what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honourable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
No, you must not so mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and I was the whole man governed with 1. So that if he have wit enough to keep himself warm, well, let him bear it for a difference between himself and his horse. I pray you, who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat, he ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady, the gentleman is not in your books.
No, no. An he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion now? Is there no young squarer that will make the voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord. Oh, he will hang upon him like a disease. He's sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he have caught the Benedict, it'll cost him £1,000 ere be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good Signor Leonato. Are you come to meet your trouble? The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your great grace. Well, trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict, no! For then you were a child.
Ha! You have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are. Being a man, truly the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honourable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she'd not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina. As like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody mocks you.
What? My dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible this dame should die while she hath such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Well, then it's courtesy a turncoat. For it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find it in my heart I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood that I'm of your humour for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
Will God keep your ladyship in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and for such a face as yours were.
Oh, you are a rare parrot, teacher.
Bird of my tongue's better than a beast of yours.
Oh, would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your way. In God's name, I have done.
You always end with a jade trick, and no you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Claudio, Signor Benedict, my dear friend, Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here about a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I'm not of many words, but I thank you.
Please, it's your grace. Lead on.
We shall go in together, Leonato.
Benedict! Didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do, for my simple, true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom, as a professed tyrant to their sex?
No. I pray you speak in sober judgment.
Why, your faith? Methinks she's too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too literal for a great praise. But this commendation can I afford her. Were she other than she is, she were unhandsome. And being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkst I'm in sport! But I pray you, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her so?
How can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into.
In my mind, she's the sweetest lady I've ever looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and she were not possessed of a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
Well, I'd scarce trust myself, though I'd sworn the contrary. If Hero would be my wife.
Oh, it's come to this. Hath the world not one man but will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Oh, go to it, then. Thou needs must thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Oh, look, Don Pedro is returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonato's?
I would your grace could constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio? I can be as secret as a dumb man, I would have you think so. But upon my allegiance, mark you this, upon my allegiance, he is in love. With who? Well, that's your grace's part. But mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
This was so were it uttered.
Like the old tale, my lord, it is not so, nor 'twas not so, and God forbid it should be so.
And if my passion changed but not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
Well, speak you this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my two faiths and troths, my lord, so spoke I.
But I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither know how she should be loved, nor feel how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, likewise I give her most humble thanks. But that I will have a retreat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, when all women shall pardon me. For I shall not do them the wrong to mistrust any. I shall do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for the which I may go the finer, I shall live a bachelor.
I shall see thee, ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood from being in love than I will get again from drinking. Pick up mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house by the sign of blind Cupid.
In time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear them, you may pluck off the bull's horns and set them in my forehead. And let me be vilely painted in such great letters as they write, "Here is good horse for hire." Let them signify under my sign, "Here you may see Benedict, the married man."
Well, as time shall try. In the meantime, good Senor Benedict, repair to Leonato's, commend me to him, and tell him I shall not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you
To the tuition of God. Of my heart if I had it. The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedict.
Mock not, mock not. And so I leave you.
My liege, your highness may now do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonato any son, my lord?
No child but Hero, she's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked, but had a rougher task in hand, than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I'm returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms comes thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, was saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou shalt be like a lover presently, and tire the hero with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and her father, and thou shalt have her. Was not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
Well, how sweetly you do minister to love, who no loves grief by his complexion, but lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. Look what will serve. Respect. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have revelling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise and tell fair Hero I am Claudio, and in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then, after, to her father will I break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
Where is my cousin, your son? Hath he provided this music?
Oh, he is very busy about it. But, brother, I can tell you strange news you dreamt yet not of.
Are they good?
As the event stamps them, they have a good cover and they show well outwards. The Prince and Count Claudio, walking in a thick-pleated alley in mine orchard, were thus much overheard by a man of mine. The Prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night in a dance. And if he found her accordant, meant to take pleasant time by the top and instantly break with the orbit.
Hath the fellow any wit that told you this?
Good sharp fellow. I will send for him and question him yourself.
No. We will hold it as a dream until it presents itself. But I will acquaint my daughter with all, that she may be better prepared for an answer, if peradventure this be true. Go you and tell her of it. Cousins, you know what you have to do. Good cousin, have a care this busy time.
Once a good year, my lord. Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
Well, you should hear reason.
And when I've heard it, what blessings brings it?
Well, if not a present remedy, at least a patient suffering.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art born undiscerning, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach, and wait on no man's leisure. sleep when I am drowsy and wait on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry and claw no man in his humour.
Aye, but you must not make a full show of it till you may do so without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath ta'en you newly into his grace. Where it is impossible you may take true root, but by the fair weather that you make yourself. You must frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace, and it benefits my blood to be disdained of all and to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. And in this cannot be said that I am a plain dealing villain. I am trusted with a muzzle, enfranchised with a clog. Therefore I have decreed not to sing in my cage, for if I had my mouth I would bite. If I had my liberty I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
But can you make no use of your discontent?
Oh, I make use of it, for I use it only. But wait, who comes here? What news, Horatio?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonardo. And I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve as a model to build mischief on? For what fool is he that has betrothed himself to unquietness?
Marry, it is your brother's right hand.
The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. But who? Which way looks he?
Marry on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonardo.
A very forward much chick. Well, how came you about this?
Being entertained for a perfumer, as I was smoking a musty room, comes me, the prince, and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I whipped me behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince would woo Hero for himself. And having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, this may prove food for my displeasure, but that young star hath all the glory of my overthrow. For if I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. And you are both sure you will assist me in this?
Oh, to the death, my lord.
Let us to the great supper. Their joy is the greater that I am subdued. Would the cook were of my mind. Shall we go, see what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
Oh, how tartly that gentleman looks. I cannot see him, but I'm heartburned an hour after. He is of a very melancholy disposition. He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Senior Benedict. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, ever more tattling.
Then half Senor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Senor Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, well, such a man could win any woman in the world, if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband, if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I'd rather lie in a woolen.
You might light on a husband that hath no beard.
And what should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me. And he that is less than a man, well, I am not for him.
Well, I trust, niece, that you will be governed by your father.
Yes, Ife, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, Father, as it please you. But for all that, cousin, you make sure he's a handsome fellow, or else make another, curtsy and say, Father, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to one day see you fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered with a piece of valiant dust? To make an account of her life to a clod of wayward marl? No, uncle, I'm none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. And if the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. If the prince be too important, tell him there's measure in everything, and so dance out the answer. For hear me, hero. Wooing, wedding, and repenting is as a Scotch jig, a measure, and a syncopace. The first suit is hot and hasty like a Scotch jig and full as fantastical. The wedding, mannerly modest as a measure, full of state and ancientry. And then comes repentance. And with his bad legs, he falls into the syncopace faster and faster, till he sinks into his grave.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, Uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The rebels are entering, brother. Make good news.
About with your friend.
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk. And especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so, when I please.
And when please you say so?
When I like your favour. God defend the lute should be like the case.
Speak low, if you speak loud.
I would like you did like me.
So would not I for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Oh, which is what?
I say my prayers aloud.
I like you the better. May the hearers cry, Amen.
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words. The clerk is answered.
I know you! You are Senior Antonio!
Not a word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head!
I do counterfeit him.
You could never do him so ill well unless you were the very man. Why, here's his dry hand, up and down. Go to, you are here.
Not a word, I am not.
Do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Graces will appear, and there's an end.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you must pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
Well, that I was disdainful, and that I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales, well, this was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
Oh, I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I. Believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester. Very dull fool, for he both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him and beat him. I'm sure he's in the fleet. I would he boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which peradventure not marked or not laughed at strikes him into melancholy. We must follow the leaders?
In every good thing.
No. they lead to any ill, well, I will leave them at the next turning.
Sure, my brother is emirate on Hero, and has withdrawn with her father to break with it. The ladies follow her. One buys and remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you not Senor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Senor, you're very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you, dissuade him from it. She is no equal to his birth. And you may play the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too. And he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come. Let us do the banquet.
Thus answer I in name of Benedict. Hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. Tis certain so. Prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero!
Count Claudio.
The same?
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow. About your own business, County. In what fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck, like a usurer's chain, or under your arm, like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Well, that's spoken like an honest drover. So they sell bullocks. But come, did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy who stole your meat, and yet you beat the post.
If it will not be, I leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep into sedges. But that my Lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me. The prince's fool. It may be I go under that title because I am merry. Yea, so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the whole world into her person, and so gives me out. I'll be revenged, as I may.
Ah, now, senor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him fair, that your grace hath got the goodwill of this young lady, and I offered him my company to a willow, either to make him a garland as being forsaken, or to bind him to a rod as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? And what's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy, who being overjoyed at finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
I would but teach them how to sing and restore them to the owner.
Well, if their singing answer your saying, by my troth you say honestly.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you, sir.
She hath misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak with but one green leaf on it could have answered her, but my very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester. That I was duller than a great saw, heaping jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me, that I stood like a man at a mark, with the whole army shooting at me. Oh, she speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her, she would infect to the North Star. Oh, I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had left him ere he transgressed. She would have made Hercules have turned spit. Oh, come, talk not of her. I would to God some scholar would conjure her. For certainly, whilst she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary. And people sin upon purpose because they would go thither. And indeed, all horror, distrust, and perturbation follow her. Here she comes. Oh, will your grace command me any service now to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker from the furthest inch of Asia. Bring you the length of Prester John's foot. Fetch you a hair off the great Cham's beard. Do you any embassage now to the pygmies, rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. Have you no employment for me?
None, but to enjoy your good company.
Well, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Oh, come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord, he lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he wanted me with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, thus I prove the mother of all fools. I have brought you Count Claudio, whom you sent me to see.
Ah! I now, Count. Wherefore, are you sad?
Not sad, my lord. How then? Sick? But neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad nor sick, nor merry nor well, but civil, Count. Civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
Faith, lady, I think you're pleasant to be true, though I be sworn if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio. I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broken her father, and his blessing obtained. Name the day of the marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortune. His grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Oh.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself to you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss and let him not speak neither.
Faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, I thank it, poor fool. Keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that she is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good Lord for alliance. And thus goes everyone into the world but I, and I am sunburnt. I must sit in a corner and cry hey-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I had rather have one of your father's getting. Has your grace near a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands if a maid could come by them.
You have me, lady?
No, my lord. Unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace pardon me, for I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, but to be merry most becomes you. For, out of question, you were born in a merry hour.
Oh, no, sure, my lord, my mother cried. But then there was a star danced, and under that was I born. Cousins! Cousins! God give you joy.
Niece, will you see to those things I told you of?
Oh! I cry you mercy, uncle. By your grace.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There is little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She's never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then. For my daughter tells me she sometimes dreams of unhappiness and wakes herself laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
No, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord, if they were married but a week, they would talk themselves mad.
Count Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Well, time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son. That is hence at just 7 nights. And a time too brief, too, to have all things answer my mind.
Come, you shake the head at so long a breathing. And I warrant thee, Claudio, time shall not go dully by us. I will in the interim undertake one of Hercules' labours. That is to bring the Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I doubt not but to fashion it, if you three will but give me such assistance as I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights watching.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
Benedict is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. Well, thus far can I praise him. He is of noble strain, of proved valour, and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humour your cousin so that she shall fall in love with Benedict. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedict that despite his quick wit and queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Go in with me, and I will tell you my tip.
And you told the Count Claudio will marry the daughter of Leonardo?
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinal to me, for I'm sick in his displeasure, and whatever thoughts his affection ranges equally with mine. Now how canst I cross this marriage?
Well, not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in it.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in the favour of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at a lady's chamber window.
What life is in this to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that life and duped her temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him he hath wronged his honour in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you do mightily hold up to a contaminated stale. Such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Oh, proof enough to misuse the prince, vex Claudio, and do Hero, and to kill Leonardo. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them I shall endeavour anything.
Go then. Find me a meter out to Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves them. Intend a kind of zeal both to the prince and Claudio, as in love of your brother's honour who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cousin with the semblance of a maid, that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without a trial. Offer them instances that shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at a chamber window and hear me call Margaret Hero. And bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. And there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance and all the preparation overthrown.
Grow this to whatever averse issue it can be. I shall go put it in practice. You come in the working in this, and thy fee will be 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in your accusation, and my cunning shall not fail me.
I shall go presently learn the day of their marriage.
It's amore.
In my chamber window lies a book. Bring it hither to me in the orchard.
I am here already, sir.
I know that, but I would have thee hence and here again. I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love. And after he had laughed at such shallow follies in others, will become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music with him, but the fife and the drum. And now that he rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would walk 10 miles afoot to see a good armor. And now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now is he turned orthography. His words a very fantastical banquet, just so many sweet dishes. May I be converted to see with these eyes? I think not. I will not be sworn, but love will transform me to an oyster. I'll take my oath on it. Before he shall make an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. Until all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she'll be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Oh, mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what colour it please God, the Prince and Monsieur Love. I'll hide me in the arbour.
Come, we'll hear that song again.
Yea, my good lord. How still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See where Benedict hath hidden himself.
Very well, my lord.
Come, Balthazar, we'll hear that song again.
Good, my lord. Suffer not so ill a voice to slander music any more than once.
No, pray thee come and let me woo no more.
Since you talk of wooing, I will sing. Since many a wooer doth commence his suit to her he considers unworthy. Yet he woos, yet he will swear he loves.
Nay, pray thee come. Or if thou wilt hold longer argument, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. There's not a note of mine worth the noting.
Oh, why, these are very crotchets that he speaks. Note notes.
Forsooth the nothing.
Now divine air, now is his soul ravished. It's not strange that cheap guts should ail souls out of men's bodies. What a hoard for my money when all's done.
By my troth, a good song.
And an ill singer, my lord.
Nay, thou singest well enough for a shift.
And had he been a dog that should have howled thus, they would have hanged him.
Yea, marry. I pray thee, Balthazar, get us some excellent music. For tomorrow night we would have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
Best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Senor Benedict?
Oh, why? Stalk on, the fowl sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behaviour seemed ever to abhor.
Is this so? Since the wit in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it. But that she loves him with an enraged affection, it is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Oh, faith like enough.
Oh, God, counterfeit. There never came counterfeit of passion, came so near the light of passion as she discovers it.
Why? What effects of passion shows she?
Make the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effect, my lord? Well, she will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
Ah, she did indeed.
How? Well, how? Oh, you amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedict.
I should think this were a gull, but the grey-haired fellow speaks it. Well, knavery cannot sure hide itself in such reverence.
You've taken the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
Oh, 'tis true indeed. So your daughter says. Shall I, says she, that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This, says she, when she's beginning to write him, for she'll be up 20 times a night. There she will sit, in her smock, till she hath writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper, I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us all.
Oh, when she had writ it and was reading it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheets. Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one she knew would flout her. For, says she, I measure him by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he wrote me. Yea, though I love him, I should.
Then,
Very true.
down upon her knee she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so. And she's so enraged at the fact that my daughter is sometimes afeard that she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
It were good that Benedict knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
What, to what end? He would but make a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should, it were in arms to hang him. She is an excellent sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she's exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedict. I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all other respects and made her half myself. I pray you, tell Benedict of it and hear what he will say.
Were it good, you think?
Hero thinks she will surely die. For she says she will die if he loves her not, and she will die ere she makes her love known. And she will die if he woos her. Well, rather than she would bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
Oh, she doth well. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it, for the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
Oh, he is a very proper man.
He doth show indeed some outward happiness.
Before God and in my mind, very wise.
He shows some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
Oh, as Hector, I assure you. And in the management of quarrels, you may say he is wise, for either he avoids them with great discretion, or undertakes them with the most Christian-like fear.
Well, I'm sorry for your niece.
Shall we go seek Benedict and tell him of her love?
Oh, never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Oh, nay, that were impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool a while. I love Benedict well. And I could modestly wish that he would examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If ye do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. Let's send her to call him into dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love? Me? Why? Oh, I hear how I am censored. It must be requited. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. But they say, too, that she will rather die than give any sign of affection. I must not seem proud. I never did think to marry. They say the lady is fair. Well, 'tis so. I can bear them witness. And virtuous, well, 'tis so, I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me. But by my troth, that is no great argument for her folly, nor no great addition to her wit, for I shall be horribly in love with her. Oh, I shall chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me, because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? The meat a man loves in his youth, he cannot endure in his age. Shall these quips, these sentences, these paper bullets from the brain, awe a man from the career of his humour? Well, no. The world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, well, I did not think I should live to be married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do espy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Sweet Beatrice, I thank thee for thy pains.
I take no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I wouldn't have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message?
Yea, just so much as you may take upon a nice point and choke a door withal. You have no stomach, senor? Fare you well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid thee come into dinner. Well, there's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. Well, that's as though to say, any pains I take for thee is as easy as thanks. If I do not take pity on her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, I am a Jew.
I will go get her picture.